Yo, what's up YouTube? Today I'm ranking all the bosses worst to best from both the DLC and the main game, comparing them all today. Alright, it's time to start with the literally worst boss I've ever seen in any game before. The most utter piece of garbage which has nothing good in it and is just purely annoying. It is, of course, Renola, Queen of the Full Moon. Before I go into any details of this, if you actually like this boss, please comment down below why you like it, because I don't understand how anyone can like this boss. But let me go into reasons why I absolutely hate this boss. Alright, so the first phase, this isn't even the worst part of the fight, but it's actually very boring. Like, you just hit 3 children, it's quite obvious what you're meant to do. And then her shield thing just breaks and you get to hit her, and then you most likely will have to do it again, but obviously I'm quite over leveled for this fight in the recording. But yeah, it's not interesting, it's not hard, you just literally hit 3 kids and just start beating up Vanilla. Absolutely not fun at all. But the second phase, this is the worst part, right? So basically, obviously, I am over leveled for this fight. But if you're not, this is just miserable. She just spams spells all the time. Anytime you even get an opening, she just does like a back step and does these little blue dots. Um, it's very annoying. Like, you basically just have to get lucky with what spells she does. The spells she casts are super annoying as well, spammy, and the worst part is she summons things. Like, obviously the dragon, that's okay, that's pretty cool, but everything else is terrible. Walls on the Bloodhound's fang, that is just purely so annoying and miserable. Absolutely terrible boss. Next up, no surprise, it is the DLC boss, Commander Gaius. Okay, let me just start with that fight. That charge you just saw there, like, half the time, you dodge straight through it, and it just hits you. And sometimes, like, as well, the damage, like, doubles or triples randomly when you get hit by it. Like, the damage is never the same. First off, all his attacks are actually very annoying. Not as bad as Renala's, but they're quite annoying. I did do this on my first playthrough without Mimic Tier. But yeah, gosh, that actually took me a while, because this boss is so bad. And yeah, honestly, this isn't a fun fight to play. His attacks aren't even that memorable as well. And it's more just kind of fun beating him than actually playing the boss. So yeah, no, not a good boss really. Attacks, not fun in my opinion. Yeah.
Alright guys, hear me out on this, okay? I know this is a fan favorite boss, but I've got a lot of reasons to really just not like him. Now, first off, his spear, I don't know, kind of weird. I mean, sometimes I'd perfectly dodge it and kind of just get hit. Obviously that might just be a bit of a skill issue. But it's really annoying how he just completely spreads these blood flames around the arena. And especially in the second phase. Because in the second phase, every hit, he does a little blood flame thing. And it becomes really annoying to navigate around the arena. And yeah, apart from that, I've got another complaint about this boss, which really makes me just hate it. His stupid scratching things that explode, or anything he does that explodes, genuinely are so annoying. I don't know how you dodge it, and it does a lot of damage as well. And yeah, apart from that, there's my reasons. Honestly, just wins the fight. So yeah, it doesn't deserve to be in C tier. Okay, so starting off with the like C tier bosses, you know, it's alright. It's not that bad. But it's not anything special. Matia, Muslim Fingers, you know, it is what it is. I mean, it's a cool thought. It's this fat finger blob. It's pretty interesting, but it just isn't anything special. I mean, let me just address how easy this is. Like, you know, a lot of the attacks actually do quite a lot of damage, but like, oh, it's so easy. Like, it's obviously like, yeah, no, she just has no HP pretty much. This attack is actually quite difficult. The like phase 2 attacks are a little bit difficult. No worries, she just hasn't got anything special. It's a cool thought, but yeah, apart from that. Okay, there's actually something I really want to quickly add. The soundtrack's pretty cool. I thought I should just mention that. It really fits the boss. Eevee vibe and all that. And kind of just the arena and stuff. So. Alright, sort of the same stuff with Mattia, but Estelle has got some other features which really places him above Mattia. So first off, on the first time you come here, you just see this scary looking beast thing shooting lasers at you. Dude, it is so cool. And I will admit, the more times you fight him, it gets worse and worse because you don't have that same feeling like you did when you first fought Estelle, at least for me. But yeah, dude, it is just so cool fighting this thing, so creepy and stuff. His attack's fairly fun, you know. Meteor attack like this one, it's pretty interesting. But mainly the design is just so cool on this boss. Can be a bit annoying sometimes because you have to hit him at the head. And this attack is a little bit annoying, but apart from that, it's good. I like all his grab attacks, to be honest. I know it's a bit overused, but I like it. Alright, Lich Dragon Fortress Axe. You know, obviously, at that time in the game, you've fought 10 dragons already, probably. So, it isn't that special. Obviously, he's got special moveset. You know, he's a remembrance boss. So, he's a bit special. I'd say it's a lot more fun than fighting the other bosses I've listed. But again, it's kind of the same thing we're already used to. It is what it is. But I'm not gonna lie, it's cool. It's cool. It has stuff going for it. His moveset's fun. Alright, obviously the king of the C tiers. I know most people are not gonna agree with that. But let me get in my reasons. Obviously, he's the king of the C tiers because he's just too cool. But at least for me, he's just got too many problems. First of all, I love how he goes in the air and does them little waves at you or something. That is so cool. But honestly, some of his attacks are just so annoying. He does a little bubble, and actually no, all the time, if you're close to him, you just get hit by it and it just completely wrecks your HP bar. Totally destroys it so fast because of the death and stuff. And then he also has another attack where he explodes. That is so annoying. It just always hits me pretty much. So yeah, some reasons why I don't like him. That's about it. But the thing is, he can kill you so fast because of his death that it puts such a toll on the fight. I had to land him in C tier instead of A tier. Vigilance has the spirit. You know, it's a lot better than Malaka's because it's just such a chill fight. You know, honestly, you just get to relax. Honestly, not try so hard to try and, you know, just beat the boss. It's just chill, bro. His attacks are chill, and if you panic, just try and hit him a lot. You know, you're gonna die. But if you just try and be cool with the attacks, dodge when you can, and then attack when he's free, then you'll have an easy time. Even if he regenerates 3 times in a single attempt. And it's a chill fight, optional fight as well. So you can do it when you want to. I don't think this is a bad fight. I actually really like this fight. You know, it's pretty interesting. It has 2 gimmicks. So you have to always try and attack from his head. When you get used to it, it's actually fine. And then obviously you need to just try and repass when you can. His attacks, I actually really like them. Apart from one attack, which is a little bit annoying. I'll get onto that when he does it in my footage. But yeah, and obviously to deal with these where they come up, you just have to know what you're doing. This attack's actually quite annoying on the best phase. He just sends so many holy beams. But apart from that, he hasn't got much flaws, and it's genuinely a fun fight to deal with. And he gives you a fair amount of openings. This D60 attack is one of my favorites. It's just so fun to dodge. And yeah, you know, I just have a fun time with this fight. It gets pretty interesting. Obviously, he has 3 phases. Second phase, that dash attack. At first, this is the most nasty attack the developers of Elden Ring could pull. How mentally delayed it is, but you just gotta react fast. It's pretty nice. Probably not much change in the second fight. He has more HP though. The first fight was just a warm up to get you real for what's gonna happen now. The real stuff. Third phase, you know, it explodes. It's alright, but the music, you know, it's kind of cool. It's this guy's last chance. You know, it's his last hope of survival, and you're just wrecking it. You know, you're just killing this plant. So yeah, his basic combo is nice to deal with, and it's just a well-designed fight in my opinion. The King of the Dragons, Dragon Lord Placidusax. What a fight! I mean, the thing is, it's kind of just meant to be a spectacle, and I'm fine with that. It does it greatly. I mean, this is probably like in the main game by far the best dragon fight, and I like dragons. You know, they're cool, but it really sucks when you get stuck in his foot and you can't move because of these lightning bolts. That kind of sucks. There's a little bit of a problem in this fight, but let me just talk about how you get here. Like I knew what something was gonna happen when I came here. I knew of the route to get here, but on my first playthrough, but I did not know what was awaiting me. It was so cool if you didn't know what was here. Like, bro, it's just like epic. It's just epic. It's such a secret. You just get sucked in this tornado and bang, you know. It's Dragon Lord Placidusax. Yeah. First off, this guy's attacks, they are beastly, like damage wise, crazy, and he's tanky as well. So it makes for sometimes a quite difficult fight, to be honest. But yeah, it is quite fun. Big spectacle. His eye lasers are something else though. Like, they look cool, but the damage they do is absolutely mental. And then, the best part about this fight by far is when he turns into a clown and then appears and, you know, does that attack. And he does like a combo of them sometimes as well, where he does it a lot. Yeah, no, absolutely goated dragon fight. Apart from, you know, one other dragon fight I'm going to talk about later in the list. Okay, so I want to make it clear, at this point, the next bosses, I love all of them. I love the next 16 bosses on this list. So, kicking the A tier off, Fire Giant. He is a pretty cool boss. And yeah, dude, I like him, you know. He's a big boss. You know, you hit his ankles. It's just a fun fight. I mean, it can be a bit unfair, but I mean, that's kind of the whole point of Fire Giant. And it's satisfying doing much more damage than you kind of usually would because of his weak spot. And his attacks are fun. His shields are fun. He rolls around, pretty goofy. And the second phase, it gets crazy. He rolls around a bunch more. He has some flame attacks. And it's a whole lot of fun. Yeah, that's all I can say really. 15th place in A tier, the Putrefaction Knight. Honestly, it's a really fun boss. At first, it can be annoying because it seems like you can't get any openings on him and he's just attacking all the time and you keep on getting hit. But when you really just have more attempts and just keep on playing this guy, you really cannot understand how to really play him. And at that point, it just gets really fun playing him, dodging his attacks. And I remember the first time I beat him, it was so crazy. That's the only time, actually, apart from once, because I didn't know how to use Blessings Marker. This was the only time I actually used a Blessing Marker. And yeah, honestly, absolutely, it's just so fun to do. Obviously, sometimes you might be over leveled for him, because obviously it can depend when you fight him. He's an optional boss. But saying you fight him at like level 10, level 9 in the Shadow Realm stuff, then you should be good. You get the perfect experience. Second phase, not much really changes. He has some cool fire attacks. It adds something to the fight. The whole thing's a great fight though, very well designed, and it is very fair. You know, it's like a thriller. You know, you're always trying to beat him. You get some close attempts, and when you beat him, it is just the celebration.
Pillagers, emboldened by the flame of ambition. Have it writ upon thy meager grave. Felled by King Morgoth, last of all kings.
Yes, Morgoth. Like, the hype is real with this, bro. I don't think, at least if you did Stormvale Castle, you ever gonna forget about Morgoth, because, and this fight, because you did Morgoth, is just so epic, bro. He's returned, and he's got like a cool sword and stuff. And bro, he's just going like a beast. Like, he really goes crazy on you. It's actually a quite difficult fight, and I usually do the fight with Melina.
Obviously, I want to clarify New Game Plus here, so it's gonna look a lot easier. But yeah, it's just so epic, especially on his second phase where he actually does his skill that's shown. But his attacks are really fun, although it's kind of hard to actually get an opening on him without getting hit. So you kind of just have to choose how you're gonna get hit most of the time, because he doesn't let you have much. But yeah, just goated. It's such a fun fight. It actually feels bad that I'm putting him at 14th place, but there's just too many good bosses in this game, so it is what it is. It has to be done. But guys, it's not it. The best part of the fight is that you can literally teabag on this guy after you kill him. He's a bit salty, but honestly, I literally do this every time.
The lowly tarnished. Plain as a lord. I command thee, kneel! I am the Lord.
Godric the Grafted. I still remember when I beat this guy. It was a legendary occasion on my first playthrough. It was crazy. I felt so like happy when I beat this guy. It was my first remembrance boss. But anyway, on to the actual fight. His attacks in his first phase actually super fun. Like all of them are. You know, when you get used to the game, he isn't that difficult. But I mean, if you haven't played any Souls games and this is your first Souls game, and obviously Godric's one of the first bosses you fight, then it can be quite difficult, as it was for me on my first playthrough. Honestly, his attacks are very fun. What else is there to say? Alright, second phase. First off, it's crazy how he just rips off his arm, puts a dragon on his arm, that's just epic. And same stuff here. I mean, the attacks are just better, bro. He breathes fire with his dragon, and it's just epic. But the whole fight is epic. Alright, just making it out the top 10, Romina, Saint of the Bud. Obviously, you know, she is a bit more on the easy side, but easy doesn't mean bad. She's actually one of my favorite bosses. I think they did her very, very well. You know, I did beat a 4th try on my first playthrough, so yeah, obviously quite easy. At least for Elden Ring standards. Is what it is. I mean, it's a fun fight. All her attacks are cool, you know. She slashes with her Scholar Rot swords. She has these like, she goes up in the air and she has like an indicator for where you have to dodge. It's pretty cool. It's a fun thing. Actually, I really like her second phase transition and her second phase as a whole, even though not much does change. You know, it's still great. There's like little butterflies around but they explode. It's pretty cool. And then she has this really cool like combo where she kind of goes up in the air and just, you know, keeps on going at it like that. Yeah, and then obviously like you have to kind of stay close to her. So magic builds, like people who use magic mainly, like you might have a bit more trouble on her, possibly, because you're not as close. You maybe attack from far away. But I don't know, you know, I've actually never been a magic build. So, first off, to understand Bale, right? I think first we need to just understand the hype that led up to this guy. For real, I mean, the hype done is the best I've ever seen. Like, this guy was totally hyped up. Like, literally, right? You see a guy who is, you know, begging. He's almost dead. Like, his arms and legs were ripped off. And he says Bale did this to him. At this point, you don't know who Bale is, but you know Bale's dangerous, you know.
My arms, my legs, each lies a bloody ruin. Bale, vile Bale. Oh, terror incarnate. There is life in me yet. I will soon feast upon your heart. Mark my words, you too shall know fear.
And then, like, you know, do the ancient dragon man cave, you fight him, and you go to this whole new area, and you fight literal dragons, and you see the dead bodies of dragons, and Bale is the king of them all. And you also meet another character, the priestess. She kind of helps with Bale a bit, you know, telling, and you learn about Bale, you know, how he fought Dragon Ball plus the Dusaks and got wounded, and then you're finally here in this fight, and it is just spectacular, you know. First phase is kind of pretty cool, but second phase, he has that little mid-range transition, just so cool. It's like a little spectacle there, and his attacks get more crazy and crazy. Yeah, Bale, what a good fight, what a good fight. Alright, starting off the top 10, it is Valana. This fight is absolutely amazing. I literally love all her attacks. Like, they're just so fun to dodge. And bro, she just pulls like really long combos just for fun. But like, it is so fun. It's like a mix of kind of watching her do some combos, at least in the phase 1, and kind of dodging into them for an opening. And I actually really like that way of playing. Yeah, anyways, it's totally epic. I mean, she doesn't look anything cool. Her swords aren't that cool either until you get to the second phase. But her attacks are really fun. And yeah, just really epic. Really just fun. But the second phase is where things get spicy. Actually, no, before I talk about the second phase, I want to just mention some attacks. So her magic attacks in the first phase, pretty cool. But mainly the one where with the sword it goes like down and then across, that is super epic. Anyway, the spicy stuff, the second phase. One of her blade turns magic and one turns to fire. And it is super cool. So if you're close to her, she does like a little fire attack, but you kind of just have to run away from her and kind of dodge. And if you're far away from her, she does like this magic combo, which is definitely harder. And she has loads of new kind of combos, really fun combos. One thing I also want to talk about is that moon thingy, the double moons. They're pretty cool. I mean, it's like a signature. You know, if you get hit by the first one, you're pretty much dead, but at least it's pretty cool. I mean, you're bouncing up and down. Anyway, yeah, very well designed fight. Taking up 9th place on this list, I'm gonna go for the final boss of the main game, Radagon and the Elden Beast. Okay, so let me just tell the flaws, what kind of brings the fight down. And it's all in the Radagon fight. So I like a lot of his attacks, but I also don't like a lot of his attacks. And I'm more referring to mainly the ones where he teleports and like he throws things that explode. They're the things I don't like, especially the teleporting. I absolutely hate that. There is another attack which I should be showing on the screen right now, which you can see, which I do not like because I don't know how to avoid it. But yeah, anyway. Okay, the Elder Beast fight is literally perfect. There's like loads of edge trees and it's like a nice lake and there's this giant beast and it's got a big sword and it's cool. I love his sword attacks, they're my favorite, but all his attacks are great and it's so satisfying because like when you hit him, it makes such a satisfying noise, really nice. So yeah, Godfrey, I literally love this boss. This boss actually, on my first playthrough, took me the longest to beat. I'm not even joking, it actually took me 2 months to beat this guy. He is so hard, but I love him, you know. His attacks are so cool, like, he's this just epic guy, like, he has an axe, he's trying to avenge his son that you killed. And his attacks are just so fun to deal with. And actually quite difficult as well. Some are slow, but he can also do some fast attacks as well. And yeah, look, as you can see, pretty epic stuff.
He also has another little thing in his first phase, which I can't actually show you because I don't have footage of it. But he goes like AOE mode, and it's quite hard to heal, but it makes the fight much more enjoyable. And then the second phase transition, you know, holy moly, like this guy is just a beast. He just killed his lion that was on his back for some reason, and then he just turns into this bloody monster guy, and then but he opens up with just a grab attack, and if you get grabbed by him, like, it does a lot of damage, but bro, it's not even a big deal. It's just so cool to look at that I don't even care if it does damage. He throws you in the air and slams you down, or like, you know, it's just, yeah, so cool. Hole is the best part. He grabs you, he scratches you, which is a bit weird, but you know, all these grab attacks are so cool. And then he goes down on the ground and he starts doing that thing, and it's just this massive AOE damage, and he like literally like lifts up the whole arena, kind of, in a way. So yeah, this fight is just so cool, and it's just so fun as well. I think the Divine Beast is literally the perfect first boss to the game, you know. He looks really cool, really weird actually, but yeah, really cool. You know, he has a cool cutscene as well, and it is just like, it's pretty cool. And his attacks it really gets you introduced to like the harder type bosses in the DLC. I love his attacks, especially on his first phase. They're all great, but it's a warm up for the second phase. Now there is one flaw with this, and it's the lightning phase. This is what stops it from being an S tier, because in the flipping lightning phase, if you try and hit him, you just get shocked, you know. You take a lot of damage, and it's really annoying. And there's just lightning everywhere, you know, really annoying. But he also has two other cycles in his second phase, the Frost. The Frost is pretty interesting. When he attacks, he has like a little frost thing, so it's better to jump, typically. He has like a little frost kick, which is pretty interesting. And yeah, just these little frost things. It isn't that bad. If you get cornered though in like a wall, this frost phase becomes a nightmare. But you just gotta try and not do that, and you know, it adds something to the fight. The wind phase is probably the easiest, and I really like this. He just sort of does like wind projectiles at you, and you know, has like wind stuff. He also has a tornado. I used to never know how to dodge this, but like what I found out on this playthrough is that like if you like run to one side and then dodge it, it seems to work. So that's kind of just what I do now. And one thing I really love about this fight is that, like, you know, first off, this thing's actually kind of scary. But anyway, what I love about this fight is like typically it ends up to be like quite a long fight. You know, I really like it, and that's good. That's a good thing that it's typically you have a long fight with him. But yeah, honestly, the best first boss to the DLC. You know, great. Alright, these ones are the S tier bosses. These are the bosses I really love. And starting it off, Rykard. This boss was just so cool when you first find it. First off, it's pretty satisfying doing loads of damage with that serpent thingy, and it's just kind of cool. And it's just like this big serpent, you know. It's actually, yeah, really crazy. And he has like a lot of openings to do, but he also has some crazy attacks which probably will do a lot of damage to you. And it's cool. He's just this big colossal serpent, but that is just like a little warm up just to get used to what's coming. So when you get onto the main fight, it's so creepy. He pulls a sword out of his mouth, and yeah, and then like he has some crazy attacks. That skull attack, like, it looks so cool. It's actually really cool. It's kind of crazy though, since, you know, there's just like 20 skulls chasing after you. But yeah, it is super cool. It looks really cool as well. And then all his sword attacks are really just fun to dodge. And overall, a fun fight, pretty creepy fight as well. And I like the Serpent Hunter weapon. Okay, before I even mention about the boss, I want to just say how cool it is before you even fight him. Like, the story behind him is so cool. You know, he's rotted and now he eats friends and foe alike. And the Radon Festival is so cool. But let me get on to the reasons why I like this. First off, it's just this one guy versus an entire army of the Ramadan festival, trying to kill this one guy, and he's in his weakened state. You know, he's rotting. You know, it is literally crazy. And then first thing in the fight, he starts shooting these like lasers at you. You know, he has like arrows going down, and then you know when you get close to him, the fight really starts. You know, all his attacks are just cool, and it's a nice idea, and it's really fun in practice as well. His attacks, I mean, they're not that special, but they're definitely fun to play with. But anyway, you know, that second phase transition is crazy, so surprising, you know. He just dips, like, you know, when them dragons are, and they just dip, and you don't see them until, like, way later in the game. Like, the Ancient Dragon, or the one in Moonlight Altar, and yeah. This guy does that. He makes you think, oh, the fight's over, I guess. Fight him later on. And then he shoots down with a meteor. Like, whoa. That is just so epic. Anyway, and then it kind of turns to night. Yeah, it's pretty cool. And his attacks are similar. He has some new ones. He adds things to the fight. But yeah, absolutely amazing fight. There's two things which make an amazing fight. You know, are the attacks fun to look at? You know, like a spectacle? And are the attacks fun to evade and fun to play with? And Mesmer definitely has both of them, you know. He opens up with an epic attack, you know, which I really like. Oh, actually, I like all his attacks. Especially the one shown on screen. That is like one of my favourite combos. Apart from the spears going up, can be a bit annoying to actually learn when to do. But there is an indicator, which I never actually noticed on my first playthrough. The fire kind of shows you when to do it, when to dodge. But yeah, honestly, all his attacks are just great, you know. He does these pokes, he spins his spear around, there's like fire everywhere. It's just so fun. And all his combos, you know. And honestly, I'm gonna say, like, it's pretty hard to actually learn this guy. Like, you can get better at him, definitely, but, you know, his attacks are so random, you know. And they're so fun, genuinely. Absolutely amazing. On his first phase, his appearance ain't nothing special. I mean, he's got a snake around him. He's kind of a normal guy. But that isn't why I like him, you know. But anyway, the second phase, you know, that cutscene is kind of crazy. For some reason, he shatters his eye. You know, just self-disability. But anyway, yeah. So he opens up with these snakes attacking. He's going super fast around the arena. And he's got, like, snakes as well. And the one attack I'm not really... You know, I don't really like is where like there's like 3 snakes and they're all kind of attacking you. But you know, that's kind of a skill issue. That's why I don't like it. But yeah, no, honestly, great fight. You know, the midget fight kind of opens up with just kind of funny. You just beat up this old man. Yeah. But then, you know, the real fight begins, you know. They're not gonna give us a boss which is just like has like no HP and has barely any attacks. So first off, the cutscene in this is epic. I mean, they don't actually show his head being taken off, but, you know, just the introduction to Midra, the Lord of Frenzy Flame, you know, that was so cool. And I actually think his attacks are really cool, especially the Frenzy Flame ones. I really like how there's a boss which actually uses Frenzy Flame, you know. First time that's ever happened in the entire game. So that's really great. And then even all his attacks are just really fun to do. In his first phase, he gives you like tons of openings, and you can attack him quite frequently. But you know that all changes in the second phase. He has this massive explosion. I've managed to dodge it by just running away and jumping when he explodes on the floor, and then just madness everywhere. It actually looks really cool. Then literally, right. He's just got crazy attacks. You know, he's got all new combos revolving around the Frenzy Flame attacks, and it becomes much more challenging. You know, he doesn't give you as much openings as he used to. You know, you're probably gonna get like 1 hit in, or if you're dual wielding, like, you know, 2 hits in, and then, you know, he's gonna attack again. But yeah, same goes here. All his attacks are so cool, and this guy is just epic. Like, this guy is so cool as well, and just a nice idea. Oh yeah, I also want to add, I also like how he spins around. That's pretty epic. Okay, Melania Blade of Miquella. One of the most difficult fights in the entire game. For some people, maybe even the most difficult. And to make it difficult, a good difficult fight, you know, that's quite difficult. So, but you know, Melania was done actually very well. It's a very well designed fight actually. You know, I like all her attacks. Her attacks are fun. They're not really stylish though, but it's fun. You gotta learn her moves and you gotta try. It's the ultimate challenge, you know. You know, it depends. Obviously, some people did that before they beat the game. Some people did that after. But you know, it's just an ultimate challenge of skill of the game and you know, intellect. But yeah, attacks. You know, it's probably going to be hard for a mage build more than a melee build because at least in the second phase. And yeah. Now, I think a lot of people don't like her because of the waterfall dance. And the thing is, like, it's very hard. Now, I think it's best if you actually struggle on it than to just look up a boss guide. They really help with waterfall dance. But it's definitely very fair, you know. When you're close up, it can be a bit hard, but it's definitely fair. Obviously, you might get hit once or twice, but just an individual hit in waterfowl, it isn't that big of a deal. But yeah, no, second phase, this is where stuff gets crazy. And the thing is, right, on the second phase, bro, this is so surprising the first time you fight her. There's a second phase, and it really gets real, you know, she says, you will witness true horror. Like, if the first phase wasn't horror, then watch this. This is gonna be crazy. And it's true, second phase is way harder. Really sets the scene in a good way. She opens up with a dive bomb, and it's actually really cool. And you just gotta chill, you know. All the damage you took from the first phase, you can relax and heal that off. And yeah, but the thing is, Melania, she gets much more aggressive, you know. You're never gonna have her chill again. Once she just dives a lot, she has like a little explosion. It is what it is. I mean, you just gotta try and get behind her, really. It's not that bad. Yeah, definitely gets more aggressive. And she still has waterfall dance. Now, my only complaint with Melania is the phantoms. It can be a bit annoying, but it's not that bad. And it's definitely fair. As well, she has Siphon. Obviously, you know, hard boss, so gotta have some way to make it good. And yeah, you just gotta not get hit, you know. You just gotta not get hit. And she won't heal.
My favorite boss, Promise Consoladon. Guys, this boss is literally crazy, bro. I was literally freaking out the first time I saw this. Radon is back. You know, I like the original Radon fight. This is just way better, bro. This is crazy. He goes in with that like mental attack where he spins around, there's like that, and then he flies up in the air, he shoots these meteors at you, and all his sword attacks are really cool. Obviously, there is one complaint being that like double swipe attack. And yeah, it's pretty annoying. Sometimes, I don't even know why I do, but sometimes I actually avoid it, no damage. But yeah, you just gotta try and only get hit once with it, and you should be good. It's only a little bit of damage, you know. You just gotta make sure you stay on top of your flasks, and you should be good. And yeah, honestly, it's just such a fun fight. It's just you know, it's very hard as well. And you gotta really think what to do. And the first phase, you know, that's just like the warm up, bro. The first phase is just a warm up. The second phase, it gets crazy, you know. You need to kind of, you know, have a whole new kind of play style because, you know, in the first phase, you were dodging out a lot. I mean, at least for me, I was. But now you gotta, like, adapt completely to the new change. You gotta dodge in because there's holy beams around. And he has this, like, opens up a lot with, like, an attack where he's got, like, a big old AoE. At first, I didn't know how to avoid it, but I think you just gotta unlock on and just start running. Then jump when you get out of the zone, and it's pretty cool. All his attacks in the second phase are kind of cool. These holy beams actually make it look really nice. And Mikola, you know, Mikola being on his back makes it just... He looks epic, bro. He looks way more scarier than he was before, at least in my opinion. But yeah, honestly, very difficult fight. And then, like, bro, he has some new combos as well. And them, like, attacks where he goes, like, just, like, several attack in, like, 1 second. They are crazy, bro. And it is really fun to do. And, you know, very challenging. And it's a very difficult boss. But done well, guys. It is done very well. Unlike, you know, Morg. Anyway. And they bring back the meteor. They bring back the meteor. That is so epic. And bro, I was literally when I beat this was so epic. Yeah, probably maybe even the hardest boss Elden in the entire game. Yeah, but yeah, very fun boss as well. Love this boss. Totally epic. And I like the story behind it as well. Guys, make sure to comment your worst favorite bosses or your favorite bosses in the comments below. And make sure to subscribe to my YouTube channel. I'm gonna make an Elden Ring challenge soon. Make sure to watch that.